Hi everybody, welcome. My name is Miss Osuna and I'm the librarian for Gruya Middle School. And not only am I the librarian, I'm also the teacher for our book club here at our school. And I also work for the ACE program under the guidance and direction of Miss Adelina Villarreal and her staff. What I do, I work for the ACE program. ACE stands for After School Centers on Education, and book club is part of these after school centers. Okay, not only do I have book club in the morning, but in previous years I've had it in the afternoon as well. So everything I'm going to tell you about are activities and things that I've done either with the morning book club or the afternoon book club. Okay, so just hold on, don't pause, don't stop it, wait, finish the video, guys. I guarantee you that once you finish this video, you're gonna be like, I want to be part of that book club or any book club that Miss Adelina Villarreal has in our district. And I'm talking about RGCC ISD, okay? And she's awesome. She's always helping us with everything that we need. And I guarantee you, you will have the right resources in your hands if you're part of my book club. Well, not my book club, our book club. Because like I mentioned before, we become a family, okay? And with that said, just wanted to let you know who I am and what I do. I'm very eager to learn, to teach you, and my love for reading, guys, is amazing, and I know I have a lot to share and a lot to teach you. So let me tell you a little bit about the activities that I do with the students or the things that I've done in the past. And some of these activities you might be familiar with and some you may not. But we do them in a very, very fun way. This is not extra work, not extra assignment, anything, but we do it in a fun, interactive way. I like to work in small group instruction. I like to work in the groups of 4, 5, 6, and sometimes in pairs. So with me and with our ACE book club, we think about how can we prepare you for you to be successful right now in your current classes, but also in what's next, your high school classes, and then after that, your college classes. So a lot of kids that have joined in the past, they've come to me, they're very timid, and with me, they learn to speak, they learn to value themselves, they learn to think a little bit higher than what they came in thinking of themselves. I'm always here to listen to them. That's why I keep saying we become a little family, and they know that they can look for me at any time they have an issue with anybody or they need help in other classes, because not only do I love reading, but I used to be the math teacher here as well. So I help out with math as well. So I really love what I'm doing, and I love working with students. So I do urge you to find a book club in your school. Let's say that it's not my school and you're viewing this video maybe for another school in our district. I know that every school has a book club, but I know for the meantime, I will focus on our book club, which is through Gruya Middle School, and I know our feeding school, which is Gruya High School, also has book club. So not only you can join with me, but after you pass to 9th grade, you can continue book club with Miss Armandina Villarreal, and she's amazing as well. We work very well together, we help out each other, we give each other's ideas. She's always helping me, so she's awesome as well, guys. So we're here to help you so you can learn to love reading and use it in your classes right now. Use it in every subject, because remember, reading is throughout, like every single subject. I guarantee you read for pleasure, your comprehension skills will skyrocket like that, and your fluency with vocabulary will come in like that. And by the time you know it, you'll be like, oh wow, that START test, guess what, my book club members always pass. And I have to brag a little, but I know that my last year as an 8th grade teacher, when I was still teaching math, but I had tutorials in the afternoon, and then I had book club also, and all my book club members passed. Why? Because reading comes in handy. Reading for pleasure. I'm never gonna get tired. Now as a librarian, I always say reading for pleasure really, really matures the mind in every single subject. And sometimes you'll be like, how did I know that? Because your brain automatically already knows it. Once you start reading, a whole new world opens up, you guys. So again, here to motivate you to try to come and be part of one of the book clubs under the ACE program, okay? And every teacher that works for the ACE, they're very understanding. They're willing to work with every student. So you'll be amazed, guys. Okay. And a little bit more. I had to write down a lot of the stuff because it's a lot of stuff that we do. We do popcorn reading. So you have the book, and every book club member has their own book, and we'll read one page, and then another one reads the second page, and then the third one, and so forth. That's popcorn reading. And I joined the group as well, and we discuss, and you know, and guess what? If you're shy and you don't want to read, that's okay. I guarantee you that 2-3 times that we've been doing it, you're gonna see that everybody accepts everybody. We're not here to make fun of anybody, and we don't correct each other. The kids already know there's rules that we follow, and we respect each other. And sometimes even I have an accent sometimes, and I can't pronounce the word maybe the proper way, or the way that somebody else will pronounce it, but you still understand it. So I talk about that and building that community within each other, with me, and we end up respecting each other. Okay, so I guarantee you that you're like, no, I don't like that, miss. I don't like to read in public or in front of everybody. No, guess what? That's okay. We respect that. But I guarantee you, within 4 or 5 days, you'll be saying, Miss, me, I want to read. I'll go next. Because that's how awesome our club is. We respect each other. We respect everybody's way of thinking, way of feeling. So whenever you feel comfortable, once you get to know your classmates in the club, you'll be wanting to do everything. You're gonna want to be the leader for everything, and you'll see. Okay. All right. A little bit more. We have read alouds, and sometimes it's by me. I understand that sometimes some of you come in tired, and you're like, well, miss, I don't feel like, reading myself, but I want to just listen. So then I take over and I do the full read aloud. I read the whole chapter, we ask questions, we discuss, and we respect everybody's opinions. Okay. We also have what I call the popsicle stick activities, and that is the popsicle sticks have questions about in general, like who was the main character, where did the main character travel to, or what was his major problem, or how was he or she feeling. And they're just general questions that help wake up those comprehension skills. And I go around, I have the little box, we go around, each student chooses a popsicle stick, and whatever question comes up, that's the question that we discuss. Sometimes the student will look at it and he's like, I'm not sure, miss, can I ask somebody to help me out? Because we do that. And then they'll choose somebody, and then the next one will add to it, and that's how we end up discussing the details of the story or the chapter. Because sometimes we don't wait till we read the whole book. We do it per chapter, sometimes per page, depending how intense the story gets. And I guarantee you, every paragraph, everybody's asking questions, so that's amazing. And that's the popsicle stick activity. What I also do before each chapter, we do the activity which I call the vocabulary quilt. The vocabulary quilt, it's just like a graphic organizer in the shape of a quilt with squares, and I believe it's 6 squares, and the students gets to write the vocabulary that I'm going to teach before each chapter. And I just choose about 4 or 5 vocabulary words, and we discuss it. We do it like in 10-15 minutes, and sometimes we do more. Sometimes the kids will want to color it, and they color it, and that's it. It's a fun activity before to trigger the vocabulary that they might be coming across as they read the book. And once the brain sees that vocabulary word, maybe at that time they didn't know it, but because they already defined it before, that's gonna help the understanding to kick in. All right, and that's in a nutshell, the vocabulary quilt. And then I also do the cubes activity, and it's 4 cubes. Some are it has non-fiction questions. So if the book is non-fiction, I will use those cubes. And then I have cubes that are for fiction. If the book is fiction, I use those set of cubes because they have different questions. And the same thing, kind of similar to the popsicle stick questions, but these are in a cube. And the kids love to do this. They work in groups of 2s or 3s or 4s. There's 4 cubes in each set that I have, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I have 5 sets. So I divide them depending on the amount of kids that I have for that day. I divide them among 4 to 6 students per group, And then let's say we finish reading that chapter, they each sit down, they get a cube, they throw it in the air. As the cube lands on the table, it has a question, and whatever question it is, they get to answer it as a group. And then that's when the discussions fires up. And someone would say like, but no, I understood it like this. And then somebody else will say, but no, I understand it this other way. And then somebody else will say, yeah, you're right, but this. And then the other one would like agree or disagree. And that's the discussion that fires up with the with using the cube activities. And I really like that. And the kids really get engaged. And it's a hands-on activity as well. And I do it, like I tell you, after each chapter. When we finish the book, I like to do what I call a literature circle. And we just try to make a circle in the library. We have comfortable sitting areas, and then we add chairs, and we all sit down there. And we start discussing the whole book in its entirety. And I discuss or ask questions about the characters, and then the kids start discussing. We discuss the central message of the book. We discuss overall opinions. What do you think? What do you not think? Why do you think he said that? Why do you think she said that? And they start also contradicting each other, but in a good way. And then they both look at me and it's like, who's right, who's wrong, miss? And then I jump in and I tell them, sometimes there's no right answers, there's no wrong answers, because sometimes we're just inferencing based on what we read, and you understood it this way, and you might have understood it the other way. So I teach that as well, and that's how they end up respecting each other's opinions. We do all that. At the end of the book, they learn to recommend books. After they've read the book, they'll be like, okay, miss, since we already read this book, maybe we can read this one because it's similar to this one, or the central message is the same, or the theme is the same, or the main idea is the same, or the characters are going through the same thing. And that's when they learn to make recommendations based on whatever book that they've read. Okay, they also in book club, we have reward days. Sometimes it's on Thursday, sometimes it's on Friday. If we chose a book that has a movie, we read the book, we finish all the activities that I mentioned. And sometimes it takes us a whole month to read a book, sometimes 3 weeks, and sometimes 2 weeks. It just depends on the length of the book and how much discussion we do with it and all that. But it's really fun. So after they're done with their book, and there's a movie, I show them the movie, and then we discuss what were the differences. What was the movie missing that the book didn't have? Or what did the book have that the movie didn't have? So there I teach them to compare and contrast movie and the book. Other activities that I've done in the past, we FaceTime with authors. That went amazing. And it was one of the most rewarding experiences that I've ever experienced, even as an adult, as a teacher, as a mentor. And the students were amazed with the author because it was so awesome that we were able to FaceTime with him. And the kids had all these questions for him, and he answered them right there. So it was truly, truly, truly amazing. Very, very good and rewarding experience. We've had author visits as well, and we've met several authors. I've taken the book club members to book bashes. What is that? Field trips where we meet a lot of authors. We go and we sit down in different classrooms that they have them. That's the setup that they have, like kind of like classrooms but chairs, and they have a panel of like 5-6 authors, and each one talks about their books and discuss, how is it that they wrote it, what inspired them, and the kids get to ask questions. So a lot of the students really enjoy those book bashes when we go, and I take them. I also help with homework help. If they need help with homework, I help you there. Right now, our book club members, we just finished reading the one and only Ivan, which is this one. And I believe we needed a few chapters, but since we were going off on spring break, I go ahead and told them to take the book, and they're finishing it on their own. And but we still, when we come back and the students come back, we are going to be reading Me, Frida, and the Secret of the Peacock Ring, okay, by Angela Cervantes, and it's that one. The kids also chose some of the books, and they all voted for Caroline by Neil Gaiman. By the way, Neil Gaiman, one of my favorite authors. And with Easter coming around, we chose Cascarones by Silvia Sanchez Garza. And then we also chose to read Doll by Miracle Austin, but Miracle Austin has a trilogy. It's 3 books. Unfortunately, I don't have Doll 1 with me, but that's the one that we started reading. But this is Doll 2 and Doll 3. Okay, why did I choose a trilogy? Because this one, I did choose this one because during book club, we're reading Doll Part 1. So after we finish it, I know that students will be motivated to read book 2 and book 3. So that's the reason sometimes I choose books that have that are followed by another book or trilogies, because I know that they get motivated to want to read more, and that gives them something to continue reading. So they're learning to find their genre. They're learning to find what series is it that they want to read. Boys and girls, I hope with with this mini presentation through my video, we get a lot of more members to join and be part of the book club family. And remember, everybody's a reader. Some of you haven't found the right book. What if book club, any book club, Gruya Middle, Gruya High School here for RGCC ISD, what if the book club does have that right book? But guess what? The Ace Cranes book club has that right book for you. What if this is the right book for you? What if this is the right genre for you? Or this one? So join a book club, guys, and I guarantee you will not regret it. Come join us and be an awesome reader. Thank you. Have an awesome day.